Top 5 pandemics we have survived. In today's world, the rise of transportation and exportation has opened the doors to numerous locations across the planet, making our contact with other people more frequently than ever. It is easy to see how viral outbreaks might easily spread in such conditions, but what you might not realize is that global pandemics are not a new phenomenon. Below is a list of 5 pandemics throughout history that man has survived. Number 5. 1968 Hong Kong flu pandemic. In July of 1968, an odd case of influenza was reported in Hong Kong. It was an H3N2 strain, an offshoot of H2N2, and it moved quickly. Within 2 weeks, cases were found in Singapore and Vietnam, and within 3 months it had spread to Australia, India, Europe, and the United States. At 0.5%, the mortality rate was relatively low, but that didn't stop this bug from doing some major damage. By the time it was finally under control, over 1 million people had died, including over 500,000 in Hong Kong alone, decimating nearly 15% of its population. There were also numerous casualties in West Germany and Berlin, where the numbers were so high corpses were being placed in subway tunnels. Luckily, the strain shared traits with the Asian flu of 1957, which it is believed helped people develop antibodies, which may have helped lower the number of casualties. Number 4. 1956 Asian flu. The Asian flu pandemic also found its roots in China, claiming over 2 million lives before it was done. A blend of avian strains and first reported in Singapore in 1956. The virus managed to spread across China before finding its way to the coast of the US in 1957. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 70,000 people died in the United States alone, and many more throughout the world as this bad boy ran its 2-year course. Number 3. 1889 Russian coronavirus pandemic. The first reports of this flu outbreak came from 3 locations: Turkestan, northwestern Canada, and Greenland, in May 1889. Originally thought to be virus subtype H2N2, it was recently discovered to actually be the coronavirus subtype H3N8. The outbreak managed to spread fast and far due to population growth and modern transportation methods that made it easier for the disease to get from location to location. Within 5 weeks, the virus had reached its peak, with over 1 million lives being lost. The 1889 influenza was considered the first real epidemic during the bacteriology age. Scientists have studied the outbreak patterns for years, and much has been learned from its pathology. Number 2. Antonine Plague of 165 AD. When Roman soldiers returned home from Mesopotamia and the war with Parthia, they brought back more than just the spoils. They brought back a plague that killed nearly 5 million people before it had run its course. Believed to be smallpox or measles, this one ravaged the Roman army before moving on to parts of Egypt, Greece, Italy, and Asia Minor. With their army laid waste, the land was wide open to other attacks. Civil unrest grew and barbarians began invading. This outbreak is thought to have directly contributed to the fall of the Pax Romana era, a period when Rome was at the height of its power. Number 1. Black Death of 1346. One of the most famous plagues in history, the Black Death, ripped its way through Africa, Asia, and Europe between 1346 and 1353. This run of the bubonic plague devastated the European landscape, wiping out an estimated 50% of the population. Spread by fleas, it traveled across continents via rats that stowed away on merchant ships. The estimated death toll was between 80 to 200 million, with bodies being burned or placed in mass graves. With so many dead, it grew more difficult to find skilled labor. If there was an upside to the massive death toll, it is that the demand for workers brought about better pay. It also leads to higher quality in food production and is being credited with contributing to advancements in technology. Today it is believed that this particular strain has died off, no longer posing a threat to the population.